Hello, hi everyone. Here is the content regarding the Kubernetes scanning tools like Kubebench, KubeHunter, KubeScope, Polaris. Different tools are there. These are, I think, mostly are open source tools, and I'm going to explain what is the purpose of this tool particularly, and in which case what tool can be used, and which tool scans, like what is the target of that particular tool. Okay, and by watching this particular video you will get a understanding of how exactly I mean which tool exactly need to choose in which case, especially for Kubernetes scanning purpose. Okay, and I got a chance to explore this as a part of one of the client required this. So as a part of that, I explored and I got some kind of understanding. So I'm sharing the same thing with you. Okay, whenever you are scanning any source code, I mean scanning anything, example like source code, Docker image, or something like Kubernetes manifest files. Okay, earlier I haven't get a chance to explore this particular category tool. Now while working with the different clients and their requirements, I got a chance to explore this. Okay, and whenever you are exploring any new tool, okay, make sure you have a understanding of what exactly it was, why it was used. Okay, and what, I mean, extra or what future that was very cool in that particular tool. Okay, that means extra added advantage like that. Okay, let me talk about the tools and its purpose, like what exactly it scans. Kubescape. What exactly Kubescape was? It will scans Kubernetes manifest files that is in the live clusters for security misconfigurations using some frameworks like NSA, Matrix, and CIS. These are the different frameworks. CIS is basically a center for internet security, and these individuals have a different I mean all the what we can say full forms for that, and the target for this Kubescape was YAML files. That means Kubernetes manifest files. Within the manifest files, I mean the manifest files are written in a YAML syntax, and the clusters also. It will scans the clusters also, and this was the use case example: pre-deployment checks, CI/CD integration, policy enforcement. We can also integrate Kubescape into a CI/CD tool, and we can also check the policy by using this particular tool, and if there is any outdated policies, or if you wanted to check pre-deployment scan, this will be useful. Okay, and moving to the second tool, that was Kubebench. What exactly it will check was Kubernetes clusters, whether it is securely configured based on the CIS benchmarks. As I said, CIS was the Center for Internet Security, and I mean that includes API server, kubelet, etc. Okay, and the target for this particular scan was cluster nodes only. It is not going to scan the YAML files. And the use case example was some hardening GKE Google Kubernetes engine, and GKE that was Amazon's Elastic Kubernetes cluster, and AKS Azure Kubernetes service, and those clusters and the compliance validation it will generally checks. Okay, and moving to the third tool, it was a KubeHunter. It will basically simulates attacks on your live clusters to find the network accessibility vulnerabilities, like dashboards without authentication and metadata and API exposure. Okay, and for this the target scan was cluster only, and it will won't scan the YAML files. And the use case example was pen testing, red teaming, runtime security checks. And moving to the fourth tool, it was Cube Score. Uh, Static analysis of YAML files, YAML manifest files for best practices and security gaps, like some missing resource limits and security context. It will scans the YAML file and it won't scans the clusters. And the use case example was developer friendly linter for secure manifests. And moving to the next tool, it was Cube Score. It is for static analysis. Sorry, Cube Score. I think, yeah, I think earlier Cube Hunter and Cube Score I mistakenly, I think I confused here. Okay, no problem. Moving to the next tool, Polaris. It will validate the manifest files for or some live workloads for configuration issues and policy validations, and it will checks the target scan was YAML files as well as the clusters. Uh, the use case was infra compliance dashboards and config linting. And checkov, it was also one of the tool which is of a static analysis of IAC, that means infrastructure as a code, that includes the Kubernetes YAML and Helm chart and Terraform, basically Terraform IAC, and against security policies. Okay, it will checks only security policies. The target file scan was YAML, and the use case was multi-cloud IAC scanning and policy enforcement in a CI. And the next tool was Trivi. It is used for scanning of Docker images and optionally for Kubernetes cluster for validations and misconfigurations. So majorly, it is for Docker, as the input scan. I mean, for this particular scan was images and clusters, Kubernetes clusters, and the use case was container vulnerability scanning and runtime checks. And moving to the next tool, it was Reques. It will list who can do what exactly. It was basically RBAC, we can say, role based access control setup in Kubernetes. The clusters was the what we can say target. And it won't scan the YAML files. The use case was it will checks the RBAC, that was role based access control audits and least privileges enforcement. And moving to the next tool, it was OPA and Gatekeeper. It was for policy engine to enforce custom security rules on manifests before deploying. It will I mean scans the YAML as a target via the webhook, and the use case was it will prevent the risky deployment via the written policies. And when to use what, if we see this particular table, you will get a exact idea, like what exactly can be chosen. I mean, which is tool can be chosen in which use case. Let's say if you wanted to use, I mean, scan manifest files for pre-deployment, okay, within the pre-deployment stage, then these are the recommended tools like Kubescape and Kubescore, checkov, Polaris. And for scanning of live cluster configuration, we need to use your tools like Kubebench, Kubescape, and Polaris. And for simulation attacks and for penetration testing, Cube Hunter and Rakesh for role based access controls. And for enforce policies to deploy time at deployment time, the tool recommended was OPA, Gatekeeper, Polaris, as well as Kubescape. And to scan a container images, as I said, Trivi, Snake, and Grape for the tools. RBAC review for role-based access controls only. Rakes and kubectl who can, that was the tool name, kubectl who can. Okay, and this was the summary table where the scan target support. Here in this particular table there is a list of tools, and the second column was YAML and manifest files, whether that tool particularly scans that YAML file, Kubernetes manifest file or not, and live cluster as a separate column, and container images as a separate column, and role based access controls focus. Okay, if you see combinedly as a single thing, you will get to know, like Cubescape, it will scans the manifest files, it will scans the live clusters, and it won't scan the container images. Let's say if there is a Docker container image, then it won't scan that, and it will perform a partial RBAC also. And Kubebench, there is a there is no scan of manifest files, and it will scan the live clusters and container images also, it won't scan, and it will provide a role based access control scan. And Cube Hunter, it will want to scan the manifest, it will scan the live cluster, it won't scan the container images, it won't scan the R base role based access control focus, it won't have. Okay, and Cube Score have a scope of scanning of manifest files, and don't have live cluster, container, and role based access controls. And Polaris have a manifest focus, live cluster, and no container images, and have a role based access control. And Chekovi has a manifest target, and live cluster it won't scan, and container images it won't scan, and RBAC it won't have a focus. Trivi, as I said, it mainly focus on Helm charts for manifests. Manifests can be written in Helm charts as well as YAML format also, and it will scan the cluster, and it will scan the container images also, and it won't focus on role based access controls. And Rekes, it won't scan the manifest file, it will scan the live cluster, it won't scan the container images, it will scan, sorry, yeah, it will focus on role based access controls. And moving to the next thing, it was Gatekeeper OPA. It will focus on manifest files, it will focus on live clusters, and it won't focus on container images, and it has a focus on role based access controls also. Okay, I think these are the pretty good information regarding the tools overview. And if you have any comments or any queries, please let me know in the description, sorry, in the comment section, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much for watching the video.